my god, Svetlana, what do you want now? I just got out of the shower. I don't even have my clothes, my bathrobe on. You're bothering me already? Yeah, I'm walking around with my phone on FaceTime. What? By the way, where are my He-Man slippers? And where's my robe? Can you get them for me, Chop Chop? Yeah, it's cold. The little guys are shriveling up. Yeah, I don't care. Oh my god, who cares about Tony Bubala? I don't really... He spoke to who? Oh my... I know... My father knows everyone at the Federal Bureau of Instigation. Hello? How do you think Madam Cyberhack got away with everything? Yeah, Svetlana, no one cares, okay? I don't care if we win or lose in a week, whatever. Yeah, that's fine. Tony Bubala can do whatever he wants. Whatever. Good, I hope everyone knows that I've been giving the big man half my money. Good, I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad everyone knows. I don't care what my therapist allegedly said. Okay? Yeah, I don't know where the Hearts of Palm salad is. I mean, what do you want from me? I'm completely in the nude, and I'm dripping wet. The last thing on my mind is quinoa or Hearts of Palm or artichokes. And I'm not going to teach you how to eat artichokes anymore. It's not like Quest for Fire. God. Yeah, Svetlana, fine. Rudy Giuliani? Who cares? Everyone says he's a drunkard. Yeah. And he goes after me. He reeks of Jose Cuervo. Yeah, whatever. I don't care what Juliana says. I don't care what anyone says. Trump, who cares? Like Trump has a chance to even touch us. Yeah, okay, I'm going to get the pandemic now. Thanks for putting the air conditioning on. I think you're trying to... Did Castro, pay you to try to rub me out? I actually wish you would, but not in that way. Yeah, what? The emails with the ferrets? The picture of the DVD with the ferrets? No. We've already given them away. No, we don't. I didn't eat the ferrets, no. No. They were given to somebody who has a python, whatever. I don't care. You ask really, ridiculous questions? Here I am, and it's Antarctica in here. Yeah, I'm going to get the pandemic. Thanks for your help. I don't know about any of the emails that were sent, text messages. I don't care, okay? Yeah, well, nothing's happening. Do you see me with a ball and chain in Sing Sing? No. Obviously, I don't care if the Federal Institute of Bureau has it. So what? Yeah. Yeah, I have other laptops that are actually show the money trail, not that one. The bank accounts in that laptop aren't even linked to me. They're linked to Tony Bubala's cousin's neighbor's proctologist. How on earth does it get back to me? My God. Okay? I've seen Goodfellas enough times to understand what to do. All right, I'm going to go now. Yeah. Whatever. Thank you. Okay, fine. Tony Bubala can go Bubala himself. He can go tubing himself if he wants. I don't care. Okay, fine, bye. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very, very much. Eric, H526, Luke St. Martin, thank you so very, very much. To my super chat, I don't have $20 million in venture capital funding like some people. And so I thank you so very, very much. Ladies and gentlemen, tell your friends about this channel and tell your friends to subscribe to this channel. Make sure that the notification bell is on all notifications. Make sure your phone enables YouTube notifications. Subscribe to this channel and H.A. Goodman's other channel. The link is below. I will have a segment immediately after this one, like I usually do, an upload. And I have a question. Eric H526, Luke St. Martin, everybody here. First and foremost, thank you so very, very much to the great Bublinsky. Party on, Wayne. Party on, Garth. Great Bublinsky, hello. Great Bublinsky, make sure you get 50% of Thank you so very, very much. Phoebe, hello. Sam, hello. Jesus Matters, hello. Caroline, hello. Ladies and gentlemen, how do you win Ohio and Florida if in Florida, and that's about 50 electoral college votes, how do you win Ohio and Florida if in Florida the Democratic Party Latino outreach said that the former vice president is suppressing the Hispanic and Latino vote? Okay. How do you win Florida if you're suppressing the Latino vote and you have a Cuban population, a Venezuelan population, populations from all throughout Latin America who despise socialism? Okay, they're not down with Rose Twitter. How does that work? How do you win Florida that way? Bernie Sanders got decimated in Florida because he's like, oh, Castro ain't that bad. Then you have, and I think this is huge, Jorge Masvidal, the UFC legend, supporting President Trump in Florida. That's enormous. Latinos are going to give President Trump the victory throughout the country. The Latino and Hispanic vote is very important. It's the largest non-white demographic in the country. How do you win if your Botox be the exhumed body, a.k.a. the Botox cadaver, a.k.a. Mr. Erect Leg Hairs, also known as Tales from the Crypt, also known as Paint Watches Him Dry, a.k.a. Skeletor's best friend was Pelosi. How do you win if you're doing worse among Latino and Hispanic voters throughout the country? How do you possibly win in Florida? How do you possibly win in Michigan if you're doing worse among Black and African Americans throughout the country? President Trump got 14% of black men in 2016. 14%. 14%. If he got 14% of the entire African American and black vote, Democrats would never win another election. I mean, if Republicans did. They would never win another election. They would literally never win another election. This is why they have to focus on the same things and prevent people from finding out that Botox be the exhumed body helped craft a 100-to-1 sentencing disparity for the same narcotic. And interestingly enough, a narcotic that his son has abused. an illegal substance that his son has abused. 100 being oftentimes people of color, to one being a person who looks like the vice president's son. 100 to 1 sentencing disparity. 100 to 1 sentencing disparity for essentially the same drug. 100 to 1 sentence. Look it up. You are 100 times more likely, if you were a person of color during the 90s and early 2000s, to be sentenced, arrested, convicted of even possession. And here you have a person who gets 80 grand a month, doesn't speak the language, doesn't know anything about energy, and it's like, generally, if you don't speak the language of the country where this energy company, if you don't speak the language of the country, you don't have expertise in the actual field, and the vice president, your father, had no right to force any government official, any prosecutor out. The absurd defense is, well, even Republicans thought that this man Shokin was corrupt. Who cares? Did President Obama give Biden the authority? Who gave this man the authority? And has there ever been an example in American history where a vice president has forced out a prosecutor in another country under the guise of, well, he's fighting corruption? Has there ever been another example? No, because they would have brought up the other example. California veteran, California red wave. I wish, I hope so. California veteran, thank you. Lily, hello. California veteran, has there ever been an example where a vice president has gone to another country and said, you're not going to get $1 billion in loan guarantees because I'm going to try to help you? You're not going to get $1 billion in loan guarantees. You won't get $1 billion in loan guarantees because even Republicans want a person in your government to be fired. I love how anything that happened during President Obama's tenure, there is zero link to President Obama. Zero link. Madam Secretary has emails with top secret intelligence. And I'm telling you, I can't. I'm still going with Clinton replacing Biden because I can't fathom them tanking the election. He has no chance to win. There is so little enthusiasm for this man. They're simply running on Trump is a bad person and that's it. And vote for the other guy because Trump is a bad person. You're not going to win any, because you're not going to win an election that way because too many people like Trump. Too many people like Trump. And he's not. President Trump is almost certainly not going to win the popular vote, because California will see to that. Clinton won the popular vote because of California. She outspent Trump 2-1. And I don't even think the popular vote's going to be as many votes as it was in 2016. The margin of victory Democrats have in the popular vote, which is completely irrelevant, will probably be less than 2016. But who cares if you have a media that literally is covering up legitimate stories while at the same, if their excuse is that, well, Tony Bubala and the computer, we just don't know how accurate this is. Well, the Biden campaign hasn't even denied the accuracy of the emails. They could simply say those emails aren't accurate. They were fabricated. They can't say that because then you'll go into the metadata, then you'll go into each email, and then you'll go into, and then they'll look even more guilty and the evidence will be even more incriminating. They'll dig themselves an even deeper grave. But a Steele dossier, so Tara Reade, don't ask any questions, don't believe. With Kavanaugh, the accuser is a saint. I mean, you can't get, it's the hypocrisy is insidious because the Democrats literally utilize the suffering and the pain of others for political utility and gain. I mean, you couldn't get more nefarious. You couldn't get more corrupt. Tara Reade, don't even bring it up. Even though there's a 1993 call-in from her mother alluding to a very serious situation with the former vice president. Don't even bring it up. So Tara Reade and her story has been canceled by a media that used to care about this type of thing, but only for Republicans. And that should tell you how honest Democrats are. And then you have a Steele dossier and an intelligence assessment that was even confident. They were not certain, they were only confident that Russia had interfered. They're still moderate to highly confident, and the Steele dossier was completely fabricated and made up. Then they're finding out it was a threat to national intelligence because it was actually riddled with Russian disinformation. Then John Ratcliffe literally stated, the person who replaced eventually James Clapper. James Clapper has been on CNN, MSNBC. Oh my God, he's been everywhere. John Ratcliffe is now the new director of national intelligence, states categorically, the computer did not have, it's not an example of Russian disinformation. It has nothing to do with Putin. Putin didn't put the hash pipe in the former vice president's son's hand, or write his emails, or leave his laptop at Shmuley's computer repair on the corner of First and Delaware. In Wilmington, open 7 days a week. But you have publications, so we just don't know if this is accurate, you know. They didn't care. They impeached President Trump. On a transcript without any direct evidence. And then Biden is like, oh yeah, everyone at that impeachment believed me. Everyone at the impeachment trial was a rabid Democrat. And the one person who, a couple people who defended President Trump were disregarded as, hacks. The great Bublinsky, I might want to keep checking your watch time to go, exactly, Bublinsky, thank you. Simon, thank you. 2 dogs, Mike D. A USPS truck with 320 million pounds 3 days after the election at some courthouse in Pennsylvania, all having issues as a write-in. I don't doubt it. 2 dogs, Mike D. 2 dogs, Mike D. I don't doubt it. 2 dogs, Mike D. Thank you. Thank you for watching. So Tara Reade, if she was accusing a Republican, it would be worthy of discussion and media attention. But it's actually Botox B, the exhumed body. So no, we can't. No, because we don't have Democrats and liberals and the left and the media and today's society. They get riled up over any accusation against Trump or Kavanaugh, but they just completely sweep under the rug, and they forget, and they just pretend that Tara Reade never accused Biden of a heinous act that nobody has ever accused Trump of doing. And then they say, well, Trump has more people accusing him. So what? So is that the calculus? Whoever has the most people accusing them suddenly is more guilty? How does that work? The Clintons, this is a Clintonian type of political calculus. Well, everything. I cannot stand when people say, oh, they're all so bad. No, they're not. Dodgers won tonight. Dodgers are on their way to winning the World Series. Javier Rios, hello. Niners, Javier Rios, hello. Dodgers are going to win the World Series. Is every team the same as the Dodgers because they're in the major leagues? Is every player the same as Babe Ruth? No. Not everything is relative. Not everything is relative in life. I can't stand when people say, well, this is just what happens in Washington. No, it doesn't. There's one vice president, one computer that was dropped off, and a trove of emails on one computer belonging to the son of one vice president. Unless your name is linked to Botox B, there is no correlation, or there is no morally relative scenario that you can say, well, it's just the same. I mean, these people are so bad. No, they're not all so bad. Even if the Republicans are corrupt, it's generally the establishment Republicans that are linked, that are actually more aligned with Democrats than they are with Trump. They're not all so bad. There's a hierarchy of corruption. Atop the list are Democrats. Trump is not corrupt. Want to know how I know? Because he wasn't even impeached on a legal statute. He did not even break. They had 2016, 2017, 2018, and they had 4 months in 2019, 3 to 4 months in 2019, 3.5 years, and they had part of 2015. They had about 4 years from 2015 to 2019 to find one crime that he could have been impeached. There's like a 2%, not even, like a 0.1% chance if Botox B wins, which is not even possible. But he would be impeached the month after. The month after. Because you would have every single email out in the public. And those emails directly link to legal statutes. There are legal statutes against laundering and racketeering and graft and bribery. And he's like, I gave my returns and Trump didn't. The United, this is a very difficult concept for Democrats who worship the government. The United States government is in possession right now of Trump's tax returns. Do you want to know who's less qualified than the United States government? Anyone at the New York Times or the Washington Post or anywhere else. They're not accountants. If you don't work for the Internal Revenue Service, you're probably not as qualified as they are to look at, and even they make a lot of mistakes. The IRS already has... Get away. Get away. Move out. Shoo. Fly. The IRS has Trump's taxes. They have his tax returns. The United States government has his tax returns. If he was paying Martians for physical relations and on Area 51 to Tubin himself, if he was getting Tubined by extraterrestrials at Area 51 and he was paying them like Jerry Springer, apparently, I think it was, who was it that paid with a check? Okay, they would know, everyone would know by now. Everybody would know by now. Then they're like, Trump's going to jail. For what? For emails showing that he sold the presidency to the person that gave the most money to his son? Because those emails don't exist. Climb, BMX, and impeachment has to be bipartisan. The Senate failed bipartisanship, not impeached. I agree. Climb, BMX. I agree. I mean, the House impeached and the Senate, prevented any conviction, but climb BMX. Oh my goodness, my voice. They impeached me on obstruction of justice and perjury. That's right, 2 legal statutes. And they couldn't even find a legal statute for Trumpy. Climb BMX, thank you. Thank you as always, Climb BMX. Justin Mooney. If they were able to drag the exhumed body over the line, he would resign. As part of it, and that would be great. Good thing it's a landslide, though. I think it's going to be decisive. Whether it's decisive or a landslide, I'm happy. We are heading towards a new era, a new paradigm of American politics. Justin, thank you so very much. As always, Climb BMX, as always. It's a new era of American politics where not everything is relative. You say that Trump is just as bad or worse, then tell me where the graft is. Don't bring up working with Russia, because he didn't do that. You want to know how I know he didn't work with Russia? Because there were no charges. The Mueller probe found nothing. And if people say, well, they found contacts, good, and they didn't charge anyone, so what? You mean Democrats are the only people who can have contacts? If contacts are the issue, then Botox B should drop out tomorrow. Because apparently, according to Tony Bubala, he directly was selling the office of the vice presidency. If you are selling the office of the vice presidency, and there's correspondence, if the correspondence, the words actually exist, the words were written by business associates, millionaires, very powerful, influential business people and politicians. And if there's a negotiated price to meet the vice president, and if the vice president's son brokered deals, and these emails are accurate because they were in a laptop, because a person with substance abuse issues left a laptop full of incriminating evidence, my God, how inept are Democrats? My God. I mean, Botox B was a horrendous candidate before this. This is a man who not only crafted 100-to-1 sentencing disparity for different forms of cocaine that harmed communities of color while protecting people that looked like his son, but then he had the audacity 30 years later to go on Charlemagne the God and say, you ain't black if you don't vote for him. And that's with Charlemagne the God can't stand President Trump. And Democrats that day, oh my God, damage control. Immediately going to bat for Biden. Washington Post immediately going to bat for Biden. If indeed there's a literal proof that Trump worked with Russia, then why didn't Mueller indict anyone? There's literal proof that Madam Secretary had top secret intelligence. Want to know why she wasn't indicted? Because Comey said there was no intent. Hello, there was no intent. That's why they had to go to bat and say, well, there was no intent. They went after Trump and they found nothing because they didn't even impeach him on Trump Russia. Where if they impeached him on abuse of power and obstruction of Congress, every president after Washington could have been impeached. Okay? Every president. Okay? Jefferson didn't get any approval from Congress for the Louisiana Purchase. You could just go. Every president. Adams with the Sedition Act. Well, every president. I don't know if he couldn't have been impeached for that, I don't think. But every president, aside from George Washington and John Adams. Quantum football. I'm scared that they're sleeved to keep Trump from winning. Trump needs at least one of their states to go to. Yeah, but they couldn't stop. They couldn't stop President Trump in 2016. So I agree with you. But it would have to be quantum football. Thank you as always. But I do agree with you. But it would have to be a cover-up that even they wouldn't want to be a part of, because you'd have to really fabricate a lot of votes. Slickboot21, thank you so very, very, very much. Slickboot21, thank you. Greatly, 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 greatly appreciated. Thank you so very, very much. Slickboot21, please be here November 3rd. Please be here November 3rd. It's going to be one of the great days in American history. And I really, really, really appreciate your support, Slickboot21. Thank you. Very kind of you. Thank you so much for your support. And the meltdown alone on November 3rd, they're heading towards an iceberg. Slickboot21 and Quantum Football and everyone here, Slickboot21, it's like the scene from Rebel Without a Cause, and for Democrats it would be Rebel Without a Clue, but they're heading towards Slickboot21. They're heading towards the cliff, and you have Democrats in one car. And you have Trump, who was smart enough not even to start the car because he knows there's a cliff. And you have Democrats gleefully driving as fast as they can. They're heading towards a political annihilation. And they're doing it with not a care in the world. And with exuberance. And they don't realize that it's right around the corner. Slickboot21, thank you. Lisa Lister, here's some money for the new hats. They see you November 3rd. Lisa Lister, thank you so very, very much. My goodness. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Lisa, so very much. As always, Slickboot21, thank you. Lisa, you've been so supportive. And I look, if I could provide even more amusement, I don't even know what I could do. But rest assured, I won't be doing what any CNN contributor does. So that's, I guess, a plus. Lisa Lister, thank you so very, very much. My goodness, thank you, Lisa. You're absolutely wonderful. Slickboot21, you are absolutely wonderful. Thank you both. My goodness. See, I don't have $20 million in venture capital funding. Sam's Pirate, hello. I don't have $20 million in venture capital funding, but I do have Lisa, I do have Slickboot21, I do have everyone here, so I appreciate that. And I have two best moderators. They're working overtime today. Eric and Luke, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Eric and Luke, thank you. We have, 1,000 viewers almost. Slickboot21 and Lisa Lister, thank you. Yon Sun Long, hello. But Rebel without a cause, it's like you have two cars. One, Trump was smart enough not even to start. Trump was smart enough not even to start the car because, there's a cliff. And Democrats are gleefully, and it's like the Titanic all over again. They see the iceberg, and the iceberg says Biden up 16. And I can't, in my head, I'm telling you, whether maybe it's because I'm traumatized from 2016 and them cheating Bernie Sanders. Who knows? I cannot get my head around them being serious. I'm still, at the end of the day, Trump is going to go 8 years, which is what I've been saying for 4 years. I've been more spot on than I have been, wrong, but I'm not perfect. I still can't wrap my brain around Madam Secretary giving the keys to the castle to somebody who would lose the keys in his pocket. If he put the keys in his pocket, he wouldn't know where the keys went. And it's like, he's like, oh yeah, Biden care. Like, these people are so delusional. The past 4 years has been about Medicare for all on the left. Medicare for all. That's what gets people enthusiastic. That's what they won't. They don't want Medicare for all. For the 1,000 people watching, the Democrats are the most disingenuous, the most dishonest, deceitful political party in existence, and perhaps ever. At least Tammany Hall gave their constituents and voters, at least their voters got something from Tammany Hall, as corrupt as it was. The great Bublinsky, another handful of coins for the poor boy. Great Bublinsky, Simon, thank you so very much. You're absolutely wonderful. Lisa, Lister, and Slickboot21, thank you so very, very, very much. Thank you. For the 1,000 people here, Democrats have stated that these are the policies that they do not want to ever enact. Yet they want voters to think that they'll pass these bills to deceive them into voting Democrat. It will never get past the Democratic Party. Ever. These are Green Party policies. These are not Democratic Party policies. There's a political party for these policies. It's called the Green Party. If people grew the Green Party, if it evolved into something of a threat to the Democratic Party, Democrats would be forced to then. Democrats would say, okay, fine, we will adopt these policies and try to, and they would have to try to seduce or lure Green Party voters, because Green Party voters would make it impossible for Democrats to ever win again. But here are the Green Party policies that Democrats absolutely pretend that they will pass. Democrats will never pass a Medicare for all bill. Democrats will never abolish the Electoral College. Democrats will never abolish ICE. Democrats will never pass a Green New Deal legislation. They passed a resolution that was a public relations stunt that failed miserably, that everyone mocked. And then in the Senate, they didn't even have the courage or the conviction to even vote on the resolution that was non-binding. And during the debates, it was only Pence and Trump that brought up the Green New Deal and Medicare for all. Okay? And Democrats will never defund the police. Notice how every single time Democrats will never ban fracking. That's 6 policies right there. And you could add immigration. I mean, Democrats eventually might. There's 7 policies right there they haven't done a thing about. But the 7th policy, they might have a bill, maybe, maybe, in the future, maybe. So they are complete hypocrites and liars. Tell me what they give. Biden care? They don't want Biden care. They don't even know what it is. What is Build Back Better? Every time I hear that, I think Baby Got Back. The Sir Mix-a-Lot song. Vincent Ardolino. Watching the 2020 election is kind of like watching a car wreck. Exactly. It really is. It really is in super slow motion. That's like one of the best ways I've ever heard to describe this election. Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you. 100%. I agree with you 100%. Vincent. I agree with you 100%. It is a slow motion, like, for Democrats is that dorsal fin. And that dorsal fin ain't flipper, so I'm still the Federal Bureau of Investigation, they just do their job, and Botox B says bye-bye. Hey, some going to cornflakes. Come on now. Vincent, thank you. Ricky! Coswin, Ricky! HH, too late for Hillary to step in. I believe she will, but it's never too late, even a day before, because the electors, Ricky, the electors, if the mail-in votes, people say, well, you know what, there's so many mail-in votes. The mail-in votes make it impossible. Ricky, thank you so very much. Politico has an article in 2016 that I've read many, many times on this channel, and H.A. Goodman's other channel. And it talked about in 2016 the possibility, this was an article written in 2016, and it was about the possibility of replacing Madam Secretary because of a health scare in September of 2016. And the academics and the professors and all the experts that Democrats love, said that it wouldn't be a problem for any last-second replacement because all of the votes would eventually go to the person who won for that political party. So theoretically, if Bernie Sanders had replaced Clinton, or if Biden had replaced Clinton, theoretically, it would be feasible. So it would be feasible, because the votes, the electors will go. The electors that vote for the Democrat that wins the state will vote based on political party. They won't vote based on only on the person that actually is the person that actually got those votes. They'll vote based on political party, so a person last second can be replaced because the electors in the Electoral College don't care. They'll just go for political party. Thank you, Ricky. Thank you. California veteran, the longest yard. Thank you, California veteran. Thank you. Thank you, California veteran. Thank you. As always. So, Luke, quick draw, Luke. You got me. You got me to it. Quick draw, Luke. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, how do you win if you have no enthusiasm? There's an enthusiasm gap of 30 to 35%, and you have Trafalgar with polls that are far more accurate that show President Trump doing quite well. And Richard CNS, laptop finds Trump rocks. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Richard CNS. Thank you. Richard, thank you so very, very much. Please be here November 3rd. Please be here on this channel. Tell your friends. Tell everybody on this. I mean, November 2nd is going to be the day before Christmas. November 3rd will be Christmas. November 4th will be the Democratic hangover. All of November, be on this channel, everybody. Tell your friends to subscribe because YouTube doesn't give any love in terms of subscribers for live streams. So I'm doing the upload after this, but tell your friends about this channel. Richard, thank you so very, very much. Lisa and Slick Boot, thank you so very much. Greatly appreciated. Teste Ecclesias. Aim for the moon, my brother. Even if you miss, you'll be among the stars. Thank you. And God bless you. Thank you so very, very much. Great, great. That is a beautiful sentiment. And it's a sentiment that people voting for Trump can understand. It's a sentiment I'm going to call you T right now. It's a sentiment, T, that people voting for Trump understand. Of course, there are people who are hard workers who vote Democrat. Of course, there are people who have worked extremely hard in their lives voting Democrat. But the difference, though, is President Trump, he was never supposed to win, but he won. He's never supposed to get reelected, but he'll get reelected. He's never supposed to have defeated the intelligence, a very corrupt intelligence apparatus, a very powerful, influential media apparatus, a Democratic Party that basically has those two elements of our society in their pocket. And yet he still won. And yet he's still winning. And he's going to win. So T, thank you so very much. I love that sentiment. I love that sentiment. T, thank you so very much. I love that sentiment. PJP72. Unlit all last week, snuck out for the debate and right back in the bunker. England, Miami anymore without him. Something's going on. I think so too. I mean, look, you have to understand something. If it's because I've been traumatized by the 2016 election, fine. The day after Trump wins, and if they actually go with Biden, I'll say, Madam Secretary and Bubba Bill, oh my goodness, let's go in the hot tub time machine. Honey, we can still get you to become on that ballot and make H.A. Bad Man a real legend. Come on, honey, let's get in the hot tub time machine. You can still become a nominee. I'm still going to say that even on November 4th, when Trump wins, I'll be like, and we're going to go back in time, and Madam Secretary is going to be there. I don't know, it's like, I think something's going on, PJP72. Every day, every single day, PJP72, T, Richard, California veteran, Ricky, Vincent, Lakiva, Bublinsky, Lisa, Lister, Slick Boot, Quantum Football, Justin, Clyde, BMX, 20 Dog, Mike D, Bublinsky, California veteran, Bublinsky. I think that I never trust the Democratic Party ever. The Democratic Party is like going to a restaurant where Jeffrey Dahmer is the head chef. You don't want to trust it. You don't want to eat the main course because the main course might be you. You don't want to do it. You don't want to play Twister with Edward Scissorhands. That's actually more enjoyable than trusting the Democratic Party. There's a lot of things you don't want to do. Okay, then you have Tony Bubala. And he's a Bubala. And they are, I love when Botox B actually called Rudy Giuliani. He doesn't even know where he is, Botox B. I can't wrap my brain around. I'm still saying that Clinton is going to replace Biden. I still can't. Oh, let's get in the hot tub time machine. Oh, I like the hot tub time machine, I'll tell you what. Slick Boot and Lisa and everybody here. I like the hot tub time machine because I get to just go back to when I was in the Oval Office talking about intercontinental ballistic missiles with a certain someone. And oh, that's funny, that paper mache prop, I lost it. How on earth are we going to talk about intercontinental ballistic missiles now? Clem joke! Can an argument be made that as there is no constitutional provision for political parties, the assumption was that candidates ran as individuals rather than a representative of a party? Well, I believe there were factions. I don't know if the political parties were as organized as they are today. But Clem joke. Let's see. Jefferson was a Democratic Republican, right? So there were factions. The Democratic Republican Party, better known at the time under various other names, was an American political party founded by Thomas Jefferson and James Madison. And Federalist Party, you had, was the first political party in the United States under Alexander Hamilton. So, dominated the national government from 1789 to 1801. So they had political parties, but there's no provision in the Constitution can argue be made that there's no constitutional provision for political parties. The assumption was that candidates ran as individuals rather than a representative of a party. I think that even back then they were representing a good number of people who agreed with them. Thank you, Clem joke. Thank you, Lisa Slickboot 21. Thank you. You look at the Electoral College, and this is always fun. Go to 270 to win. They always do this to themselves, Democrats. They always do this to themselves. Arizona hasn't voted for a Republican. Let's just look at Arizona. Okay? I mean, hasn't voted for a Democrat, sorry. Arizona hasn't voted for a Democrat. And they always do this to themselves. Like, oh, Arizona's a swing state. No, it's not. Since 1952, Arizona went once for a Democrat in 96 to Clinton. Oh, sorry, the last time was 1948. So from 1948 until 2020, one. And so what makes anyone think that Arizona is going to be a blue state? Arizona is not a blue state. It's a red state. It's as much of a blue state as Pennsylvania is a red state. Like, Pennsylvania actually went to Trump, and he's not favored there. But they haven't won since 96. I mean, Pennsylvania went to Trump, and they're like, oh, he's not going to win. And all the models show that Arizona is going to go blue, and it's like, well, what? Like, he won that state, and Democrats did not win, so why would it go Democrat? But go to 270 to win. You go to 270 to win. You need 270 Electoral College votes. It's not difficult. And I would love to see them try to abolish Electoral College. Would love to. John Skelly! John! What's your opinion on Frank Luntz saying today that Trump will lose? Well, Frank Luntz, the day of the election, pretty much said it was 100% certainty that Clinton will be president, and then later that night said, as you know, So, and NPR quoted me. So, have I been right about everything? No, but this will be the second straight election I call. I don't think that he's right. There's no reason. See, John, if there's a reason, give me. I have not heard a reason to vote for Botox B, the exhumed body, and I haven't heard a reason. And yeah, exactly. Boobala. Arizona's a beautiful city. Yeah, exactly. I haven't heard a reason, John, and Boobala, and everybody here. I haven't heard Richard Sanchez. I haven't heard a reason to vote for Botox B. Give me a reason. His foreign policy successes? No. Ask the people of Libya. The crime bill? No. His eloquence, his eloquent and charismatic way of communicating? No. His ability to mimic Tales from the Crypt? No. Give me a reason. I want a reason. President Trump, First Step Act, allocated more funding to historically black colleges and universities than any president ever, and absolved $300 million in Katrina loans. Fantastic. Economic opportunity zones. First president to step foot in North Korea. Peace deals between Israel, UAE, and Bahrain, and Serbia and Kosovo. Officially ending the war in Afghanistan. Drawing down Americans and bringing them home eventually from Iraq, removing them when President Obama put them in Syria. Record low unemployment, record low black and Latino unemployment, and they keep saying, well, it's not the case now. Yeah, well, we don't have to go into the pandemic. The states with the worst outcomes, 7 out of the top 10 states with the highest per capita fatality rate are Democrats. 7 of the top 10 states with the greatest number of lives lost are Democrats. Then they get around that by saying, well, case numbers have gone up. Yeah, but they don't tell you the survival rate. Maybe because they're allergic to anything that has the word survival in it. Notice the doom and gloom that Botox B wanted to tell you. You're not going to live. You're not going to live. We have 320 million Americans. It was horrendous. Every life lost is a horrendous tragedy from this pandemic. But 80,000 Americans in 2018 lost their lives from a similar type of organism. We'll just put it that way. 80,000 Americans. FLU. Not saying it's the pandemic, but 80,000. So 56,000 Americans who lost their lives in 2016 under President Obama. President Obama single-handedly ended all their lives? Is that how it works, Democrats? You irrational imbeciles. Is that how it works? I don't think so. So they keep on trying to focus on. They say things. Their attempts to disparage Trump are so sad that they can't actually point to. A specific thing that he's done to break the law, his handling of the pandemic. Well, what specifically should he have done to protect people in New York when the governor there was sending elderly people into old age homes who were infected? What specific? What should Trump have done for Democrats in New York and New Jersey, and God bless the people of those states, New York, New Jersey, Illinois, Michigan, to have listened to Trump? I want to know this alternate reality where Democrats were just begging. I heard I've heard from people who are intelligent people who completely now have given up on rational thought. Well, Trump is the reason these people lost their lives. Well, most of the people, about in 10 states, you have like around half of all the lives lost in the country. In 10 states, you have around half of all the lives lost in the country. And those 10 are Democratic-run states. And they'll vote blue this election. What did they want from Trump? Specifically, what did Trump do to hurt those states? I want specific. I want to know what Trump did to cause such carnage in New York, New Jersey, Illinois, Pennsylvania, Connecticut. New York, New Jersey, the highest per capita, go to the New York Times. And then you have Jonathan Swan. Talk about percentage of population. Oh, Jonathan Swan. Do you want to know what percentage of population means when you take the following into context? The top 4 states in the country with the highest per capita lives lost per 100,000 people are New Jersey, New York, Massachusetts, and Connecticut, and actually D.C. is up there too. New Jersey, New York, Massachusetts, and Connecticut, they're all voting blue. They're all run essentially by Democrats. Well, New York and New Jersey, absolutely. And in Massachusetts, Elizabeth Warren, but I believe you have a Republican governor in Massachusetts. But Connecticut, they're all run by Democrats. And one of the senators in Connecticut is like, hardcore derangement with Trump. And they happen to be the tops in terms of lives lost. Between New York and New Jersey, I mean, it's horrendous. You have around 50,000 Americans. You have around 50,000 Americans. And then they get out of it by saying, well, they've turned the tide. It's like, well, when a tsunami is already hit, turning the tide is not really like, I mean, you could look at the bright side of things, fine. Boobala. So, yeah, I mean, I want to know what were they were apparently, when Democrats say his handling of the pandemic, they never actually give a specific, they never actually level a specific grievance or accusation. There's always his contacts with Russia, his handling of the pandemic, his handling of the protests. Now, you know what? Have Toobin talk to them about handling. What does handling of something mean? Why is every accusation towards Trump so broad and ambiguous? Because they don't have any specific grievance. They just don't like him. That's it. They don't like him. They simply just don't like him. That's it. They don't like him. They don't like the man. They don't like the man. They don't like the man. That's it. That's it. They tried to impeach him before the pandemic. And you had the rock stars on the left saying one thing before the pandemic, then one thing after the pandemic, and they all, worship the banner of science, but apparently science changed within the past 6 months. And you have a guy who talks like this, who's a fantastic, fantastic human being, and there's nothing that this man knows every organism on the planet. And at first he talked about protective coverings not helping people. Now he says protective coverings, of course. You probably Meshuggah if you don't believe him.
And he has an opinion, and a definite opinion on everything from prophylactics to your Amazon purchases. But protests, gosh, golly gee, he doesn't really have a vantage point. And hey, by the way, give me some more Clorettes. He's always got a Clorettes or a hard candy because he's very cool and awesome. He's always got that hard candy in there. And he's always, he just knows so much. And, I mean, how could you blame anyone not worship this man? Because anyone who communicates a medical perspective with this kind of beautiful accent that I love must be an absolute genius. I do love that accent, by the way. But anyway, so, and then they have, oh my God, they have the 50,000 people they don't like Trump. Oh, 50,000 security officials. Oh my goodness. Tescalesius. If I send you a Rex coonskin hat, would you wear it in a live stream? Now say my name. Testicles, hello. Testicles. It's good to see you, Testicles. Now say my name. A raccoon skin hat. I would buy one, but I don't want you to send one. But if I saw one that I thought was nice, I would buy one. But thank you, Testicles. Thank you. I appreciate that. Testicles, thank you. I just when you know, and I say this, I said this before. Bernie Sanders, thank God Trump won. I was not only duped and deceived, I was part of basically a cult, and it wasn't just Bernie Sanders, it was on the left in general. But Bernie Sanders would have won 2016, in my view. Okay, in a world where media wasn't in the tank for the I'm with her people. Thank God President Trump won. But had they gone with a populist message on the left in 2016, they would have won because the enthusiasm, the Bernie 2016 youth vote, it would have been unparalleled. They did themselves in. Okay, I said they would lose with Clinton. Clinton would lose to Trump, and she lost. The youth vote didn't turn out for Bernie Sanders this time around, but he still would have. He would have lost to President Trump, but without Elizabeth Warren. And I know I'm the only person here of the 1,000 people watching now that likes this, but Lizzie, how are you today? Thank you, Lizzie. Thanks so much for endorsing me in 2016. You are absolutely fantastic. Give me a hug. I want to give you a big hug and just I want to. Oh my goodness! I'm thinking of tubing right now. Yeah. Thanks for endorsing me in 2016, Elizabeth. Yeah. Oh, that's right. You didn't. Oh, that's right. You made up for it by saying that I said a woman couldn't win. That's very nice of you. Wow. Thank you so very much for that. That's so nice of you. My God. My God. Yeah, he ain't losing Florida and Texas, so that ain't happening. PJP72, quick draw. Luke St. Martin, thank you. PJP72, thousands of unmasked people. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. But see that it's not just politicized. There needs to be a compilation of all the examples of it. It is so PJP 72. We're going to look back and we're going to see that this was a very interesting time. This was it's almost like a runaway media, like a runaway freight train. You don't know where it's gonna hit, but it ain't gonna be good when it happens. Media is just media, Hollywood, the intelligence community, or whatever. I love when they used to say intelligence community, like, have like, hi neighbor. You have like James Comey mowing his lawn, oh hi, and then James Clapper, hi neighbor. And he's like, walking the dog, and then you have Andrew McCabe, hi neighbor. He's like, doing the oil change in his car. Hi neighbor. Hi, it's one community. It's so great. You have corruption with people like Comey and Clapper and Brennan. You have corruption at the New York Times and other publications that are literally in the tank. Like literally, it should be just called DNC Newsletter 1, DNC Newsletter 2, the New York Times, Washington Post. The only two publications, and the Hill is like slowly moving towards the left, which I don't know why. The only two publications that are at least like kind of middle of the road are the Wall Street Journal. Only the Wall Street Journal is left. Only the Wall Street Journal is left as a publication that just isn't in the tank. I mean, nobody's cover. It's really hilarious too that with mainstream not covering Botox B's like immense controversies and scandals and corruption, that everyone still knows about it. Everyone still knows about it. Everyone still knows. It's really hilarious too. They're like, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. It's like it's like having Hunter at Thanksgiving. And it's like, how's your Thanksgiving? Are you enjoying Thanksgiving? Yeah, everyone at the table knows. Everybody at the table knows. Which, by the way, will be fantastic. To the 959 people watching, do not rub it in. When President Trump wins, do not rub it in. I'm telling you, remember what I told you. Don't ever speak about politics to anyone. PJP 72, HA, this channel is like Radio Free Europe in 2020. Exactly. As I feel like it too. Exactly. PJP 72, thank you. Exactly. I feel like that. But don't ever, PJP 72, Slick Boot, Lisa, everyone here, don't do it. Don't ever talk. Don't ever talk about politics to a TDS person, Trump deranged, at Christmas or at Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's. Don't do it. Don't look at the pumpkin pie and say, oh, hi, Marge. Hi, Marge and Bill. How are you? So good to see you on this Thanksgiving. It's good to see you. Well, where's the turkey? We're not having turkey. We're just having sweet potato and pumpkin pie. Well, why aren't you having turkey? It's Thanksgiving. Turkeys add to the ozone layer depletion, and also there's something about pumpkin pie and sweet potatoes that I think you'll enjoy. What are you talking about? What's wrong with you? What color is this pumpkin pie? Marge and Bill? Orange? And who won the election? Yeah, Trump, Orange 45, yeah. Don't do that. Don't do that. There's no need to do that. Don't do that. Don't do that because it's just not going to be good. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be good because it's not going to be good for exactly. Exactly. Oh my God. It's not going to be good because you have to understand only the supremacists will be eating pumpkin pie because it's going to be reminiscent of Trumpy. Trumpy. Don't do it. Anything orange. Anything orange. Orange juice. Oranges, tangerines. Want this tangerine? No. Only Trumpists like them. Why? It's a tangerine. Manuel Rodriguez, hello, hello. Anything orange. Okay. What else? You know, anything. Don't be like, I want to watch. It's been a great, gosh, it's been a great Thanksgiving. You know, let's all relax at the entertainment center. Yeah, take a seat at the couch. Take a seat. You want to watch a parade, or do you want to watch a DVD I have? Well, what DVD is it? The Apprentice was up! Trump won! Don't do anything like that. Because it's not... Willie, thank you. It's no point in that. Cheeto Mussolini will go 8 years, and the meltdown is going to be very frightening. I have seen, let me tell you something. I have conditioned myself to expect anything. And I'm not referencing like, Mad Max, okay? Okay, so not referencing Mad Max. This isn't a subliminal for Mad Max, no. But I've pretty much conditioned myself and prepared myself for the wide array of apoplectic, seething, fuming, hysterical, fanatical, maniacal reactions to President Trump going 8 years. I have prepared myself mentally and emotionally. Okay? I've prepared myself mentally and emotionally, and you should as well. Thank you, bug. Get Tubin out of here. Okay. Prepare yourself emotionally and mentally. John Skelly. What happened to the Drudge Report? It's Uber left now. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. John Skelly, I don't know. I find that bizarre also. Big fix. Thank you, John. Thank you. I just don't know. The Pence flies back. Big fix. HA after Trump wins. How do you think the fake will spin the loss and wrong? They'll say, well, the polls, it's bizarre. The polls showed that Trump was down by 17,000 points. I think that he might have worked with people from Uranus or Neptune or maybe even Mars. Definitely Putin. It's the supremacist vote. No, it's the misogynist vote. No, it couldn't be us. It's Bernie Sanders. It's the Green Party. It's the Medicare for all people. It's never us. I don't know. I think they'll try to say, they're already saying that, well, if we lose, I mean, the polls show that we shouldn't lose. They're already trying to exactly. They're already trying to like, try to like hint like, well, we can't lose now. I mean, we're so high up in the polls. Boobala. Here's some coinage for a can of Orange Crush. Orange Crush, yes. Orange Crush, love Orange Crush. Anything 80s. Mountain Dew, Cactus Cooler, anything 80s. Jolt Cola, who remembers Jolt Cola? Trafalgar, let's see here. Let's look at Trafalgar right now. Wow. The Trafalgar group in Wisconsin, Biden 47.6, Trump 46.3. So, with 2.8% undecided. So, I mean, and again, if you have to, and then it says Jorgensen 2.2%. This is a respectful message to anyone voting for the Libertarian Party. If you think you're going to get a more libertarian foreign policy with, because when I was the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, the Lincoln Project was maybe not in existence, but all the neoconservatives were voting for Madam Secretary. So I said, I will not do that. And I don't care what else she might be for, which she wouldn't be for. But I don't care. I would not do that. So I thank God I have a president who gives me exactly what I want, and that's more of a libertarian foreign policy, opposing regime changes and interventions and never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts. Oh, why would you're already getting a libertarian foreign policy. Why on earth would you then, when you're getting something, so people who didn't vote in 2016 Democrats weren't getting anything. The far left is like, well, I always considered far left because I wanted Americans to be brought home. And then I realized the far left doesn't even care about that. So why would you vote libertarian if you're actually getting the opposite? And not just in terms of foreign policy, like Medicare for all, which Democrats will never pass because they're deceitful liars, but that's the opposite. Every single thing. So, like, when I was a big Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, I was fine with President Trump winning because President Trump gave me everything that, like, the most important elements of Bernie 2016. Prison reform legislation. That's libertarian too. I mean, these political philosophies, like, there are no, like, they're all over the place. Well, people say, I'm this, I'm that. It's like, not really. You're not only that, really. But why would you vote libertarian? It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. Absolutely no sense at all. because you were not getting anything. Okay? There actually was a liberal case for President Trump in 2016. The problem is the Lincoln Project and today's liberals have joined together. So there is no real... The liberals of 1960 are the Trump supporters of today. You know, if you look at John Lennon and you just look at the Pistols, John Lydon, okay, known as Johnny Rotten, I think John Lennon would have taken that course. John Lennon would have been, in my view, a Trump supporter, just like John Lydon is supporting President Trump. Because when you strip away the media programming, you see that President Trump is actually a liberal from 1960s. He's against never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts. And they say, like, okay, Robert Kennedy would have probably been a great deal better than Nixon in terms of foreign policy, but even he was, well, I don't know, probably, but even he was in interviews. There's an interview with him and Reagan. It's interesting. And I forgot, it's actually like this model UN where the students are trying to say, okay, well, when will the U.S. leave Vietnam? Reagan and RFK are on the same page in Vietnam. And actually, Reagan was infinitely less hawkish than President Obama. But they were on the same page, RFK and Reagan, in that interview, or that if you saw on YouTube. And so the liberals, or maybe to the people to the left of RFK in the 1960s, if they really cared still about foreign policy, they would vote for President Trump, because President Trump is removing American presence from these regions. Simply saying, well, he's doing this and that is not a rebuttal, in my view, because you're not talking about a pacifist. You're actually not talking about a pacifist. Clam joke. Oh, boy, I do remember Jolt. Exactly. Remember Jolt Cola? Clam joke. Slick Boot 21. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you so very, very much. Slick Boot 21. Thank you. Thank you so very, very, very much. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you. My goodness. Thank you so much. Waco Keiko. There's a reason why John Lennon wrote the song Revolution after all. Yeah, I mean, to my UK viewers, you know, you look at two politicians that I've looked at, and it's just interesting because UK politics and American politics are similar, although we don't have a Margaret Thatcher. We have we have somebody totally different. Margaret Thatcher was an icon that just dominated politics and never made an excuse. We have the exact opposite with Madam Secretary. But Tony Blair and David Cameron, am I off base in saying they're two sides of the same coin? They seem to me like Tony Blair is the typical liberal Democrat who's okay with the Lincoln Project. And David Cameron is the typical conservative that's okay with the Lincoln Project in 2020. They're both, it's like two sides of the same coin. So we have that in this country too. We have that in this country too. Santos, hello. Waco Keiko, thank you. Yes, California veteran. Thank California veteran for all the orange jokes. Thanks. Changing past. Try the pumpkin pie. California veteran, thank you. Scorp Target. Scorp Target. Thank you for all you do. God bless. Remember, folks, the dorsal fin flipper. Exactly. Scorp Target. Thank you so very much. God bless you. And please be here, Scorp Target. Please be here November 3rd. We're going to have such a fantastic, Scorp Target, everybody. Everyone, just on November 3rd, just here's how I'm going to be doing. Here's how I'm going to be doing it on this channel. So President Trump has won, and let's see what liberals are saying on Twitter. Very down low. Very down low. Just below the radar. Because I don't want to, I want to view the mayhem from, just like, you're watching a golf, like golfers, and we have a meltdown from this Hollywood executive, and we have another meltdown from this Lubin Tubin. And someone is actually engaging in a lubing Tubin. Yeah, he's doing right there. It's a form of protest. Fantastic. I'm going to just be like, it's going to be unbelievable. Scorp Target, thank you so very much. So kind of you. Thank you. Bubble up. Have a New York Soldier on me. Exactly. Bubala, thank you. Scorp Target, thank you so very much. California veteran, thank you, California veteran, thank you. The baby quail. Botox be the baby quail. The little baby quail. The media loves you. Intelligence officials love you. Hollywood loves you. And little Pelosi gives you. And the New York Times ain't gonna nurture you, and the debate commission loves you. Everybody, and the disinformation computer from drug addict Juliana, drunkard. Biden, fly, get us to the promised finish line. Here you go. Blop. You're never going to see. I don't know what. I don't know how. Granny Goose, hello. I don't know how. Spider Bib, hello. I don't know how you're going to get I don't know how are they going to react? I don't know how they're going to react. I really don't. I don't know. And especially, like, if it's close. Oh, the fighting spirit. Oh, if it's close. If it's close, watch out. They'll be at Kinko's printing ballots. But it ain't going to be close. I think it'll be decisive. I don't know, landslide, but I know I'm voting on election day. I know everyone else is, so we'll go there. Trump voters aren't worried about waiting 5 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour. So they know that, and it's like a 70-30 split in terms of people voting for President Trump on election day, and the margin of victory already in swing states for mail-in ballots. It's not 70-30, or it's not even 60-40. I don't think so. Even if it was 65 to 70% of voters vote on election day. 60 to 70%, let's put it that way. So, You're going to have more voters, and there's a hidden Trump vote. So, and you have John James in Michigan pulling away from Peters, according to Trafalgar. That's going to help Trump. Wisconsin. I mean, if you have a race between Botox B, the Tales from the Crypt exhumed body, and I mean, it's not like he's going to pull away just because, oh my goodness, the computer and compromising emails are just going to give him that push to win. If it's tied now, I mean, President Trump is like, if you put Usain Bolt, okay, the fastest human ever, fastest human on the planet, fastest man on the planet, you put Usain Bolt 20 yards ahead of, sorry. If you put college sprinters 10 yards ahead of Usain Bolt will defeat them. Okay. That's Trump. Trump is already running with a disadvantage. Nobody could even get close with the type of media he's received. Nobody could get close, much less win. President Trump's going to win. So you got to understand, like, when they say that the polls are tied, you have to ask yourself, when you say the polls are tied, you got to ask yourself, well, if media was actually independent, if media was actually unbiased, D. Lynn, thank you. If media was actually unbiased, where would Trump be now? Think about that. If media reported, the the Radio Free Europe thing it's kind of like, there are a number of channels that I think that this live stream, I have the best political, one of the best political live streams, if not the best political live stream every single day. And definitely in the evening, every night at 9 p.m. But it's like we're all one group looking outside, looking into a fishbowl of media and intelligence operatives and Hollywood, and it's like we can see what's going on, and we have a bird's eye view. It's almost not accepted to think in a rational manner. So this is a wonderful refuge, especially for me. I'm not just trying to plug the channel. It's like a wonderful refuge to speak to everybody here. But ladies and gentlemen, be here in 10 minutes. 10 minutes, I'll have an upload. 10 minutes, I'll have an upload on this channel. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless Luke St. Martin, Eric H526. Thanks, everybody. Thank you so very much. Bubala, thank you. Slickboot 21, thank you so very much. And Lisa Lister, thank you so very, very much. Everyone here, thank you. I'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. But ladies and gentlemen, please, 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 please. Oh, a couple things. Number one, Paul Bartlett. Hello, Paul Bartlett. Thank you to my Australian viewers. Thank you. Number one, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be part of a newsletter, it's contactgoodman78@gmail.com. My website will be up by next week. Subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel. The link is below. Be here in 10 minutes. I'll have an upload on this channel. And please tell your friends. Tell your friends, tell your family. Anybody who likes Trump, tell them about this channel and H.A. Goodman's other channel. God bless everybody. Thank you so very, very much. And I will see you in 10 minutes on this channel for the upload. Thanks, everybody. God bless. Luke and Eric, thank you so very, very much. See you in 10 minutes, everyone, on this channel.